Many people unknowingly destroy their colon, on the one hand with medication, on the other hand with their lifestyle. Now that's a bit personal, isn't it? But let's take a look. What are the factors that harm your colon? Let's start with alcohol. Nothing against an after-work beer. I like to have that myself. Or a glass of wine in the evening. These are quantities that are not harmful. But when your after-work beer turns into 5 beers, and a glass of wine becomes a bottle of wine, you will destroy your intestinal mucosa with these large amounts of alcohol. Later, the liver will suffer as well. This leads to degeneration of the liver, but especially the intestinal mucosa cannot tolerate these amounts of alcohol. So, I will not take away your glass of wine, but try to enjoy it with moderation. Second, nicotine. What can I say to that? You know it yourself. The best thing you can do is to quit smoking today. Nicotine damages the gastric mucosa, the intestinal mucosa, and much more. When people smoke, they always think about lung cancer, but that's not the most important thing at all. You mainly harm yourself in the area of your digestion and arteriosclerosis. That's where the real problems are. They are much more common than lung cancer. Third, an unbalanced diet. Many people are not even aware that they always eat the same few foods. It's not good to eat pasta or just bread every day. I have a patient who eats sweets and nothing else. If you have such a one-sided diet, you do not have to be surprised if your gut or stomach are damaged at some point. Fourth, incompatible foods. You have to observe yourself. Is there anything you react to? The main incompatible foods are dairy products, gluten, which is wheat, and chicken eggs. In this order. There is a separate video about this. You can find this in the link below and learn more about food intolerances there. So observe yourself. This is the only way you can find out. And lastly, processed food. If you look at the label, you'll see what's inside a product. 5 or 6 different E-substances, unhealthy spices or fats. This is in processed food all the time. Try to avoid such products. You're doing it for yourself and for your gut health. Now, concerning medications. Of course, you didn't choose them yourself. You got a prescription from your doctor for the treatment of some disease. But you must know that there is no medication without a side effect. Let's take painkillers or medication for rheumatism. I understand that you need those. If your knee hurts and your shoulder hurts, you need a painkiller. But these painkillers all harm the stomach and then the intestinal mucosa without exception. Now, you usually get a stomach protector to go with it. That is standard procedure these days. But these stomach protectors are just another group of drugs that can harm the colon. Because we need a certain amount of acid in the intestine for digestion. Now, when you use gastric protectors, the acid is removed from the stomach. In the colon, it then becomes alkaline, and this disturbs digestion. This results in long-term side effects. Many of these gastric protectors are prescribed unnecessarily. If I take a painkiller myself, I take it without a gastric protector. You can always add such a drug if it creates strong discomfort, but then only temporarily. In many countries, these gastric protectors may only be used for 3 or 4 weeks, and then you should stop it. Or another drug like Aspirin Cardio is very intolerant to the stomach. It has its good effect, and when you need it, okay. But you just have to know that such drugs have serious side effects, especially in the long term. And the antibiotics. You'll need those too. If you have an infection, pneumonia for example, you need an antibiotic. But you need to know that every antibiotic also attacks your intestinal bacteria. It not only destroys those that are bad, that make you sick, it destroys the good bacteria in the intestine as well. So if you use antibiotics once or twice or several times, try to rebuild this intestinal flora and microbiome with good probiotic. Now, to end things off, what can you do for the health of your colon? First advice, eat a balanced, versatile diet. Vegetables, salads, fruits, and not too many carbohydrates. Try to eat something different every day. You may of course use leftovers, but try to change the vegetables again and again. The intestines become healthier and more varieties of bacteria develop. If different dietary fiber is supplied each day, if you have a food intolerance, then you must stop eating these foods. It would also be wise to bring health to your gut with a gut rehab. You will find a video link below where I explain my 2 phases with 6 different remedies that can make your gut healthy again.